Someone asked me, Mr. Mutumba, Mitchell Simata, what do you look at when you are selecting a bull? So most important, the first point I put down there, and I try to make it as simple as possible, is you want to buy a bull from a farm which has similar conditions to your village, similar environments to your village. Like for example, if you are farming in a sandy area, you want to buy your bull from a farm which is also sandy. If you are farming in an area where there are a lot of swamps, such as mud pits, you want to buy a bull that comes from a farm that's almost similar to your conditions, is to avoid losing your bulls in getting stuck in mud and so forth, and for them to adapt very quick. The second point was the EBVs, of course. These are from registered bulls. Now, when you buy from the Mickey Schneiders, the Gunther Helsenhausen, Benny van Veek, that give you the EBVs. EBVs from registered bull often come with figures called EBVs, estimated breeding values. These are predictions of the bull's genetic abilities and how his calves are expected to perform in relation to the average of the breed for specific characteristic. Then the third thing you want to look at is, of course, the movement. The movement of walking of the animal must be free, effortless, without dragging of its feet or limping. You want it to walk very elegantly, of course. Then you want to have, the fourth thing you want to do is, of course, have your bull tested and getting a certificate for that. Usually from stud breeders, your registered breeders, they'll give you this. They'll give you that because it's a prerequisite for them. But from the communal guys, it's not really that big. So you and the buyer you are buying the bull from, you can talk to him and you guys can agree to say, okay, I'll get the bull tested from the state vet. Your state vet can do that, do the fertility testing, and also do a test to see if the animal is carrying any sexual transmitted diseases. Sexual transmitted diseases are a big problem, particularly in communal area, because I know most of the time your bulls would walk almost all the crawls in your area and mating different cows and getting the sexual transmitted diseases. You want to avoid those. Sometimes these diseases manifest themselves in forms like stillbirths in your cows. You'd see you brought in a new bull and your cows are, after 2, 3, 4, 5 months or so, 8 months, your cows start calving and they're all having abortions. Usually that could be a sexual transmitted disease which your bull has within it. Then, of course, you want to do your examination of the testicle size of your testicle, the size, the conformation of it. I drew some pictures here. I hope they are clear. So the first thing is, these are small testicles. These are very close to the bull's body. Usually these are identified with very bad semen quality. This is what you want to try and look at. This is good because the neck is long, meaning the bull's testicles aren't really that close to the body. As you know, the testicles are put farther away from the body as to regulate the heat. That is something very simple. This you want to also avoid, as this could also be another sign of very low calving and not very low calving from the bull, and also not very good semen quality. You know, when it comes to size, this is what you want to look at. The balls need to be even size, not this. This is what you want to try to avoid when selecting your bull. You want to try and avoid something like this. I have seen some farmers with such bulls. Those bulls produce, but the calving ratio is not really desired. Most of the time we are encouraged to avoid this type of looking testicles from bulls. You try to get something which the two balls are very even in size. So you go in and you look at the structure soundness, which I'm going to get to now. Structure soundness of the animal. Of course, you want to look at the legs. You want to look at it to have, the legs need to be like this. This is what I want. This is what you want to see from the back legs. Nice, well curved and well straight. Not too straight. Then you get what we call post leg syndrome. This is when the leg is extremely straight. I'm sorry, my drawing is not that good. Usually this is not a good thing for a bull, because when it starts working, when this bull starts mounting your cows and heifers, it will develop a laminar sickness, which means it will get sick because of the way the legs are developed. You want to tend and avoid bulls that look like that. You also want to tend to avoid bulls that have a sickle hook. It's when the back leg is almost curved like a correct sign. You want to tend to avoid that. This usually leads to the collapse of the heel, overgrowth of the claws. The back claws will be very overgrown, and a tenderness of the feet. So you'd see that the bull doesn't walk really that well. So you also want to tend to avoid a bull with legs like that. You also want to avoid bulls with front legs where the two toes point outwards, not forward, but they're pointing outwards. This is usually called valgus deformation of the front legs. The bull of valgus deformation will have a tenderness to develop abnormal claws, overgrowth of the front claws. That's something you want to avoid. When it also comes to the backs of the bull, this is nguni. This is usually how ngunis look like. This is what your nguni would look like. Good, well-developed hump, a curved back. This is where the tail area would be. You see how well curved that is, because it develops like this. Because remember, as I said, the bull has to be able to mount standing on its back legs, and the back is very important. You want to have a good curve, not too exaggerated, just well curved, not too bold, just a proper curve. Sometimes you see some bulls with a hump and their back is straight. That is something you want to tend to avoid. You want to tend to avoid that when buying or selecting a bull in the communal area. You want to avoid this, because this bull might struggle when it comes to mounting. You might struggle to get the shot in. But most of the time, bulls with backs like this usually throw those shots very easily. But as I said, this depends from breed to breed. Not a lot of breeds are humped. You do get your European breeds like the Simmentaler, but you can still see it's not exaggerated hump like a Brahman, but yet you still see the back how it looks like, nice and curved from the hump shoulders to the back legs. This is a bull that will really get the shots in. Another one where the hump is not also exaggerated, it's still lovely and curved, as you can see. You can see that, right? And you also can look at its back legs. This is beautiful. This is what you want. Very strong front and back legs. These are bred by Wallaceum, by the way. You also want to look at the shelf area. The shelf area is very important. The shelf area, simple English, I would say the penis area. You want to make sure the shelf area nice and tight. Usually in European breeds like Simmentalers, Herefords, Angus, this area is nice and tight. Such a cow you could use in an area which has those thorn bushes, acacia thorn bushes. They call them vachabiki, because usually when the shelf is too low, hangs too low and sticks out, that shelf area can get damaged, get injured by thorn bushes, get, that hook. I don't know, they call it buffalo thorn. That buffalo thorn with the dark sharp points can injure that, and that will be inflamed, and you'll have to get the state vet to come and fix that, which will cost you lots of money, and sometimes you lose on fertility of the bull. Now, I know of some breeds, like for example the Brahman here. The Brahman, the shelf usually hangs a bit lower compared to the European breeds because of the navel area. That's its navel area over there. But as you can still see, it's low, but it's still close to the body, not too low. The penis inside the shelf is not hanging out, it's not sticking out, it's nice and tight, nicely compacted and packed into the package over there. You see, this bull, you would be able, as I said, good shelf area, good penis area, meaning this bull would not get injured when walking, when you are farming in an area where there are the thorn bushes that are usually there. So, another example I can show you, this is a bit loose. There's the navel area, this is a bit loose, but yet again, it's loose, but that penis is still kept inside the shelf. Not too low, because if this was any bit lower, this bull would not make the selection. I know most of you say, but the testicles are very close to the body. This has to sometimes do with same thing when you're getting cold or you're nervous. Most of the time, even as human beings, your testicles get to swim upwards. I can even give you another example of a Nguni bull here. You can see your Nguni bull there, the shelf area, how nice and tight that is, well packaged, that it is not sticking out. Ngunis tend to have a hair at their shelves. Most breeds actually tend to do that. You can also see at another picture of this one, how the testicles look like. Not too close to the body. The neck is perfect. The sizing is well, and they're well hanged. They're very balanced, very good looking testicles there. So that is what you want to tend to look at when you're selecting your bulls. You don't want this area, because I saw someone post a picture of a bull where the shelf was low and the penis inside was sticking out. That is risky. It can lead to injuries, inflammation, disease, and you have to spend extra money to get your vet to come and test those, to come and fix that, to correct it. It can be corrected, but you want to tend to avoid that. So these are just some of the basic things that you can do when you are selecting your bulls. As I said, EBVs are usually predictions. You can get them from your registered guys. The things you can do is, of course, your movement and so forth. Another thing you can also try to do is look at the head. You can look at this bull. This bull has a very, very good pigmentation. If you're buying Simmental, which come with white faces, they need to have the brown color here to avoid eye infections. This is a must for Simmentals and Simbras because we want to avoid eye cancers. But this is a manly head, very big, very wide. You know, it's almost like a triangle, but which is upside down. Because a very good forehead, very manly looking bull. Same with this one. That's an added bonus because you want you want your bull to look like a bull on the end of the day. But sometimes you do get bulls with feminine heads, which is also not a problem. But as I said, as you can look at that head is beautiful. That's a beautiful head on this bull. That's what we tend to look for a very manly looking bull. You know, manly looking bull, good manly looking bull, very good head, which shows that it's a very dominant bull. So those are some of the basic things that I look at when I'm selecting bulls. I hope it will be of help to most of you guys, and any further questions you can ask. But as I said, some of these things differ from breed to breed, but the thing that remains the same when it comes to from breed to breed is, of course, like I said, the walking, the legs, the back legs, the muscling, and the testicles and the shoulder area. That remains the same in every breed. That's something you want to look at. And you also want to look at the legs. You want to make sure that the bull is a good walker. And also the conditions. Conditions are very important. It doesn't help you driving all the way to go buy a bull in Kamanyap, which is rocky, and you're taking it to a place like the Zambezi region, Sikanjavuka or Lusu area or Ngoma area, which doesn't have any stones, which is all sandy. It's sometimes just a waste of money. So these are things that you can do. Even yourself, when you're selecting your calves, you can look at these things, give them a while. Maybe when they reach a certain age that some of these things drop, you can start doing physical tests on your animals. So yeah, those are the basic steps that I can give you without going too technical.